Shalom, shalom. In today's Legend of the Zohar, we're going to be covering the second chamber of defilement. So let's get straight into it. The second chamber of the other side is darker than the first chamber. It is called grave, corresponding to the name of the evil inclination, unholy. Just as the first chamber is called pit, corresponding to the name of the evil inclination, the Satan, and this one is called grave, in relation to the name of the evil inclination, that unholy. This chamber has 3 openings. There is a chief in charge over the first opening called Asteria, and there are several thousands and tens of thousands of fiends under him. He is in charge over all those who became corrupted in their way and spill semen on the ground, emit semen unnaturally, or play harlot with their hands, and do not see the Shekinah at all. At that time, the chief on the side of defilement, whom we mentioned, comes out with the thousands and tens of thousands with him. They all gather upon the man to defile him in this world. This chief and his retinue defile the soul, seize it, and bring it to be judged by them. These fiends are called steaming emissions of sperm, for all the angry and defiled live on it, to hover about the man in heat. They increase his passion, then take it together with the semen that was spilt to the ground, which strengthens them, and raise it above. They cause the covenant above, which is Yesod, to be enslaved by the side of unholiness, to give them enjoyment and strength. Over the second opening, there is another chief, Taskifa by name. He is in charge over all those who corrupt their way, and do not spill their sperm upon the ground but in beasts, or through the strict prohibitions of the Torah, such as sexual transgressions. This chief and his retinue of several thousands and tens of thousands are all in readiness to judge him, in the same way as we said concerning the other condemned in the first opening. Come and see. This chief has a cup in his hand called the cup of poison, the cup of his fury, Yeshayahu 51:17. Those who were killed by court or punished for these transgressions are torn from the sides of unholiness, and have no portion in them, or in the cup called the cup of poison, because they first drank of another cup by the court prior to their deaths, and death by court is their atonement. All those who have not drunk of the cup of the court, namely, were not executed by court, so that the cup of poison will be torn from them, later when the soul leaves the world, that chieftain and those with him seize it. This is a bitter day, Amos 8:10. And the soul is filled with all those punishments that are different than each other. In this chamber, there's a spirit in charge over those we mentioned. He is Niatriel. From this fierce spirit come out 3 bitter drops that fall into the cup of poison. One is called division, chatzatz, which is derived from excision and annihilation, as in, when the number of his months is already complete, chutzatsu, Yov 21:21. And the second is called the bitterness of death, as is written, surely the bitterness of death is past, 1 Shemuel 15:32. The third is called dregs, as is written, the dregs, the cup of poison, Yeshayahu 51:17. These 3 drops afterwards fall from the cup to the sword of the angel of death, who kills people, as we said. In the third opening stands a chief called Sangadael. He is in charge over all those who put the member of the Holy Covenant in a woman on the side of a strange El, and all those who corrupt their ways by being false to the sign of the Holy Covenant. This chief and all the chiefs with him paint on them pictures of these unholy women, by whom their holy member was defiled. All these are recorded before him, and when the man leaves this world, they defile the spirit. In this chamber are all the secrets of sorcery, of killing people before their time, and all the magic that people use is stored here. All the sorcerers who practice magic to be defiled by them, like Balaam, who cast spells, were first defiled by the streaming semen they spilled in beasts. For that Balaam was sentenced to the steaming emission of sperm, as we said. Therefore, this chamber is called Unholy Grave. There is another spirit in that chamber, in charge under the higher spirit. He is called Sartaya, and has many thousands and tens of thousands under him. They all are sustained by and wait for the word which comes out with the spirit of man in his dreams that comes from the holy side. This defiled spirit and all the complainants with him come out to join that word. They descend upon it to join it, to disprove the matter to him, and let him know other things instead, some of them false, and some of them true. This is the way of a liar, that if he does not speak some truth, he cannot tell lies, so people would believe him. Here also, since they are mingled with truthful words he saw in his dream, they disprove them, but later they tell him some truth to establish the false notions they gave him. Afterwards, it is spread to the lower spirits below, who have no existence nor validity. They announce the matter in the world to several sides and to some species. From this chamber comes out two spirits. Now they are men, and now they turn into women. They go about the world in the air and laugh at the men in their dreams, appearing in the guise of pretty women in their dreams, and so take the passion of men. Also to women they seem like men. They are called evil and plague, as it is written, "No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling." These evil and plague are called the lower spirits, who come out of the flame of fire. For when the spirits above within the chamber travel, two flames of fire come out to hover about the world, and from them these two spirits, evil and plague, were made. All this is on the side of defilement. Happy are the righteous who stayed away from these sides, and kept themselves from them. Of this it is written, that they may keep you from the strange woman. Mishalai 7:5. And so this concludes the second chamber. With that being said, we have learned of a great variety of angels and the three doors in this chamber. Shalom, Salam.